everyone, this is Direwolf20, and welcome to episode 82 of Direwolf20's FTB Revelations Let's Play series. Today, I'm trying to figure out why you're really bad about flipping to inactive single item mode. Maybe it's just like the weird tooltip being weird. Anyway, boop. I really only need 8 of you dragon eggs. I'm going to convert 8, I believe that's what I need, 8 of these dudes into the next tier of... Are you in 5x5 mode? I guess that works out. Not a crisis. Not a crisis. Everything's fine. Look at that. How perfect. Not a big deal. Just converting the stuff here. That's kind of the plan. Nothing too fancy. I want to play with the Draconic Reactor. I want to play with some... basically, I think one of my goals right now is just get a stupid amount of RF a tick going on. How fun would that be? Right? So there's things I'd like to set up. I'd like to do the Draconic Reactor. I'll probably do that in its own custom RF tools dimension. Only because I really don't want to accidentally blow up my base. And you can totally accidentally blow up your base if you do this wrong. So we'll have to figure out how to do that. So it's been a while since I played with the Draconic Reactor. I kind of am fuzzy on how it works. I remember, I think it uses Awakened Draconium for fuel. And that's about all I remember. So I'm going to have to like Google around and remember how the reactor works. Long story short, you want to feed power into it to maintain the shielding, to protect it from blowing up, and something heat levels. I don't know. I don't remember. But I remember it being a pretty fun build to do. So we're going to play with that thing. I'd also like to get the top tier. I want to get the most ridiculous solar panel I can possibly get from environmental tech. I think that would be fun. Let's see here. Where's my 4 awakens? Nice. Now we have chaotic fusion crafting injectors. Look at that. Cool. So I think that would be fun. Just you know, ridiculous power gen would be cool. Boop. And then the last thing we'll probably do is for ridiculous power gen is work towards a rainbow generator from extra utilities. Like getting into that thing, that's when stuff really gets ridiculous. And I'd like to see just how stable and perfect I can make a rainbow gen, because I think that would be fun. So that's kind of my plan. We'll see if it works out. Now the good news is, by the way, with these dudes is you can totally do multiple crafts. So you can see like we're doing chaotic here and Draconic here. As long as the tier of the crafting, all the items are placed on the appropriate pedestal, like you're fine. So not super concerned. Boop. You know what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to make these 4 the chaotic and these 4 the chaotic and leave these 4 as awakened. By the way, making the chaotic core is a little expensive. It requires 4 awakened cores each. So for 8 of these, I needed 32 awakened cores, which needed 32 times 4, so 128 wyvern cores, which was effectively a lot of nether stars too. So there was a lot of crafting involved in getting that going, but luckily most of it was auto crafting. So good times. Sweet. All right, so that's what we got going on over here. I also kind of considered some plans around like how to fix this issue. And maybe I want to try that out now. Because the problem becomes when there's items in here, we don't want to let this thing insert, right? But the problem is, this is the problem. You ready for the problem? The problem is that if this thing's in the middle of crafting and all the items empty out of the storage container, right? It's empty while this stuff up here is crafting, right? That's the problem statement. And then items are allowed to go into the storage crate and then are routed around to the appropriate things. So with a chaotic core, here's a perfect example, right? When you're crafting the chaotic cores, the chaotic core requires 8 items. So 5 awakened draconium, or 4 awakened draconium and 4 awakened cores. So like 4 awakened cores, 4 awakened draconium. It starts crafting. If after that it goes to craft an awakened core, it puts 5 awakened draconium into the crate. Well, guess what? This guy accepts awakened draconium because that's what's needed for the awakened draconium ingot. Hence, I took off that insert button because it was messing stuff up. So what I think we want to do is basically detect if there's an item in the Fusion Crafting Center, right? So if there's an item either in this slot or this slot, it doesn't even matter. If there's an item in here, we want to basically disconnect the ME interface, I think, or disable it in some way, shape, or form. Now, can I put a Redstone card in here? It's allowed on the ME Fluid Import Export Bus, the IO port, and the ME Import Export Bus. So I don't think a Redstone card is allowed to go into the interface. My only other thought is maybe we could disable the item extract. No, we don't want to do that, right? We don't want to do that because then what'll happen is an item will go in here and it won't go into any of these. So I could disable the cable that connects the ME interface, but I'm wondering if that would break the auto crafting, right? Like it would be like, oh, I can't auto craft those things anymore. So let me cancel the crafting status. That might not be a good thing either. So just for fun, what if I request 10 of these, right? We're missing nether stars. Let's request 10 awakened draconium. How's that sound, right? So what's going to happen is it's going to put the items into the appropriate slots, right? And then once those inventories are empty, it queues up the next set of items. Oh, and because some of you guys are in not... Let's cancel that. Because you guys, I forgot to switch back to the appropriate mode. Put you guys away, and then put you guys away, because you should be in single item mode active, right? All right, so what I'm going to do to demonstrate what my hopeful plan is, if I request 10 of these, cool, and hit start, what should happen is the first batch will come in, it'll go in, it'll start crafting. The second batch will come in, and it'll be waiting. Now what I'm going to do is disconnect this cable. Let's emulate the idea that there's something in here, right? So the cable gets disconnected. Cool. Right? So notice now that it finishes crafting the second one. Hopefully it would be fast enough that it would disconnect the cable before the second batch showed up, but we'll see. And now the good news is it's not breaking the crafting. It's still waiting to craft those other items. So that's kind of cool, actually. So now that everything's cleared out, if we reconnect this dude, what happens here? He should get his 8 awakened draconium blocks and be crafting the next batch. Beautiful. All right, so that could work, right? That could work. We could have some kind of detector, scanner, inventory dude, inventory reader of some kind, like the RF Tools one. Isn't there an RF Tools inventory checker? Is that the one I want? I always mix up which one is which here. But I think the inventory checker is what we want. Yeah. Inventory checker, huh? And give me like 100 redstone torches real quick. That would be great. So what if we had a thing, slot 0, amount of items 1, ignore meta. I think if I don't put a filter in there, it doesn't matter, right? And then we have some redstone out the back. There we go. That's how it works, right? So now it's emitting a redstone signal when there's any item in there. That's pretty good. Okay. Because we could totally have that happening, right? And then we could have a... redstone transmitter and receiver. Channel 6, right? And then we could have applied energistics. There's a cable that, like, can respond to a redstone signal, right? Isn't that right? ME toggle bus? Is that what I'm looking for? That sounds about right. Cool. And the ME toggle bus here is what? How does that work? Is it literally just redstone signal on equals you're working? Thinking that might be it. So we might need an invert there. We might need a invert, like a NOT gate kind of thing. That's one way this could work. I'm gonna remove you for a second, get a lever. Just to see. When I apply the lever here, does that... Look, the channel's connected up. Sweet. Okay, cool. So without the redstone signal on, right? We should have no auto-crafting of chaotic or awakened cores. See? No awakened cores, no chaotic cores. Turn the redstone signal on, and awakened and chaotic cores should be craftable. See? See? How cool is that? Okay, that's a thing. I like that. So basically we want what we had, but with a NOT gate, right? So inventory checker here, then a NOT gate. And then the transmitter, right? So that you're online, and now what I'm going to do is make the chaotic core, because this absolutely breaks with the chaotic core crafting, right? So if I make 2 of these, okay, well, we're short nether stars, because of course we are. This is not the time to be short nether stars. Just keep in mind how many nether stars I had last time I was, you know, paying attention to how many nether stars I have. Wasn't I at like 300 and something? And we're out. That's a thing. But the theory here is, like, I know for a fact that when I craft chaotic cores, more than one, it's going to break. All right, I think we got enough now. Let's do 2 chaotic cores. So what's going to happen is it's going to craft a few. Let's put away the 5 of these. I'm going to make it 3 in here, right? So that I can craft my 2 chaotic cores. Okay, so what's going to happen is it's going to craft an awakened, and while that awakened is crafting, hopefully it won't try to craft the chaotic, right? But then it's going to go to craft a chaotic, and then after it goes to craft the chaotic, it's going to immediately try to craft another awakened, and that's when we get stuck. So hopefully if the system I set up here works, it won't get stuck, right? So you should be doing that. And you immediately turned off down there, right? So we don't have another setup in here. That's cool. You know what else I want to do? Is I want this priority to be high. I want it to always go into here first. Look at that. And it didn't put another thing in here. Sweet. And then once the inventory is cleared, it's going to allow another item in, right? It's going to reconnect the interface. The crafting components for the chaotic are going to go in. Actually, that's another awakened that it's crafting, isn't it? But it still turned it off, so that's cool. Sweet. Okay. That's kind of cool. I think that solves the multiple crafting sequences thing. I think that's kind of neat. I think that's kind of neat. Look at that. Okay. I'm on board with this. Hey, look, there's the chaotic one now. Cool. And it won't try to insert the next one because the system is disabled, right? Like we have the redstone signal saying no, 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 no craftings for you. See? And then when the crafting is done, this guy turns his interface back on. You ready? Ta-da! Interface back on. Crafting once again allowed. Okay, that's neat. I think that's a cool solution. What do you guys think? I think that's a good way to go about it. So the only thing to note here is that this does technically slow down the process a little bit. A little bit. It slows down the crafting process. But I think that the slowdown in auto crafting is absolutely worth the efficiency of not having crafts step on each other's toes kind of thing. The other thing I'll notice is the chaotic fusion crafting injectors seem to get their power faster than the Draconic one. So by upgrading this, I think it's increasing the speed at which he can accept power, which is kind of cool. So I might want to, you know, upgrade at least one more Draconic fusion crafting injector, which I can do because I'm making chaotic cores, aren't I? Yeah, I am. That's pretty cool. Okay. I want to see here. Like, you've got... Well, they actually seem to be about the same. Maybe I'm making that up. I don't know, I can't tell. The other one looked like it was more. Maybe because it was a lower tier that was crafting, and it was crafting using a higher tier injector. I don't know. At this point, I give up. I have no idea. I think it's cool. I think it's good. I think it works. I'm happy with it. Now, let's look at what's involved. Let's look at what's involved. You know what I need to do? I never did kill another Chaos Dragon. I said I would do that off camera. You've seen me kill 2 already. So I'm just going to do it off camera real quick here, and then we'll be back, right? So I'm just going to pop over to the end. Okay, and we're going to head into the whatever. Before we were heading X direction, right? Yeah, so let's go to negative 10,000 Z. I'm going to, like I said, off camera this guy, and we will be back. Trying to line it up. Hey, Chaos Dragon defeated. Woot. I totally had some critical damage. Only one little instance of critical damage, but critical damage nonetheless. Critical damage nonetheless. Alright, we survived. And everybody's a winner. Hooray! Get in here and get our thing. Only used obsidian. Oh yeah. That's good stuff. Alright, there's the last 5 that we need in order to make our reactor. Sweet. Explosion time. Okay, no more island. Let's go home. So that's enough chaos shards to make the components that I need for the Draconic reactor. Alright, so let's look at what's involved in making this. We need the reactor energy injector. We need 4 reactor stabilizers. And we need the reactor core, which is you. Okay. So that doesn't look so bad. Some of these I'm just going to craft by hand. There's no sense in auto-crafting any of these, right? So the core is easy, just a chaos shard. We're going to need 4 awakened and 3 draconium. 4 awakened and 3 draconium. Boop. There you go. Cool. And that's, you know, that's a measly 448 million RF. Speaking of, I haven't checked on my RF in a while. I'm just curious where it's at. I didn't think it would take that many clicks to get out. We're sitting at 350 billion RF. We are at 16% capacity. That is pretty hilarious. We will never run out of RF. I don't think that there's anything in this pack that can consume that level of RF. I just don't think it's possible. Like, I don't think that there's anything that can do it. RF tools, dimensions, draconic stuff, nothing's coming to mind as a potential way. All right, so I need a wyvern core, and we're going to need 4 reactor stabilizer inner rotors. Okay, some of these might make sense to autocraft, but we'll see. Because we need some of you, we need some of you, outer inners. All right, let's get like 20 of you. And 30 of you, just so we can get stuff going. I want to get this knocked out first. So 4 of these. I need 2 iron and 4 draconium, huh? Okay. Luckily, I have a lot of awakened. Luckily, I have a lot of awakened. So 2 iron for some silly reason. And what's the center point here? A wyvern core. Okay. So you go in there, we get 4 of these. Pedestal tier is too low. Really? 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it does need chaotic. So I need 2 more. Luckily I can pull that off, because I do have 2 chaotic cores. So I just need some eggs. And some diamonds. There you are, sir. So let's just upgrade 2 more of these bad boys. What I'm going to do is just remove you guys for a sec. Okay. So what I need is 2 more of these upgraded. Wasn't that it? Oh, no, wait. Not you, but the chaos cores. There you go. Sweet. See, these two do look like they were a little bit slower to get the energy. Maybe I'm crazy. Like, if we watch it, right, I'm going to put one of these and one of these. And then the remaining 3 of these. The transparency of the orb that forms around them indicates how much energy it's got. See, like, that's at 8 million, and these are only at, like, 4. So it definitely looked like these two got the RF slower than these 4. Like I said. Sweet. All right, so now things should reconnect, and we should see our 2 chaotics in there. Beautiful. And now we can get this injector dude. Single item mode on. Right? And the injector was 4 of those and 4 of these. So I think that's cool. It was one of these guys for the injector. Nice. Beautiful. And that RF charge was pretty quick, to be fair. Alright, so that clears that out. Okay. And now we need 4 of these dudes, which also need chaotic tier, but they only need 8, right? So we need 4 of you, we need 16 of you, we need 4 of you, and 4 of you, and 4 more chaotic cores. Wow. That is some shenanigans right there. But I think we're cool, right? So I'm going to autocraft. We have no gold available? Missing 439 gold? Really? That's hilarious. That is amazing. So I've got a solution. You know what we're going to do? We're going to upgrade this bad boy. And then we can focus gold. Does that sound cool? So environmental tech. Wow, we have a lot of Aethium crystals. I'm going to want a tier 6 void ore miner, right? And then we're also going to want tier 6 structure frames. Void ore miner. Tier 6. So that just needs some Aethium stuff, right? We can pull this off. I don't see why not. Nice. Okay. So what I'm going to do is upgrade this guy, and then we can focus the appropriate things that we want. Okay, so we want a lens. And I don't believe that we've yet taught you tier 6, so I should get you in here. Structure frame, tier 6 needs to be taught. Speaking of, I left my nether star thingy on, didn't I? How many stars we got at this point? That's been running the whole time. We are at 377 nether stars. It's just running beautifully, and I love it. So environmental tech book might be in here. Yes, it is. Digital guide. Okay. So I know for a fact we're going to want another one of these laser cores. Okay. And then the guide for Void Ore Miner Tier 6 needs 92 structure frames and 56 structure panels. Okay. So we're good on structure panels, but we need 92 structure frames. 92 structure frames. Tier 6. Got the resources for that? We do, thankfully. As long as we don't derp up with our prismarine production. Because, you know, I never really did make that nice and clean, did I? Okay, good, you're happy. I should fix that at some point, but, you know. Then you go in here. So we need the Aethium crystals turned into blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you're good to go. But instead of a Clear laser lens. Yes, clear laser lens is what we want. Void ore miner tier 6 looks good, and that all looks cool, right? And then, okay, so we're at 92 of you bad boys. And then I guess we just want a couple more null modifiers. And that should be cool, right? Because we need 20 modifier slots. We'll do null. I mean, I could probably always do accuracy too if I wanted to, but we'll play with it a little bit. So you're gonna go there, and then hopefully I have enough space. If not, we might have to clear out some terrain a little bit more. I think I've got like an axe I can throw in here. Thanks, Chief. Let's see what happens. It's gonna work. Do I have enough space? That would be cool. All right, so let's turn this thing on. So we are currently at a rate of 3 ticks. Every 3 ticks, we get an ore generated by this machine. That is fast. That is really fast. Look at it. Look at it go. Look at it go. And I focused a yellow lens on there, right? And a yellow lens will actually kind of be beneficial for me, I think, because it's going to focus gold, glowstone, and yellowite. And energized netherrack, apparently, which is cool. So like glowstone, which is kind of a thing, right? To have more glowstone would be good, because we never really did automate that in any way, shape, or form. But now we're getting some, and then gold, and that's kind of cool. So we should have lots of ores coming in here. The question, I guess, is will my ore processing system be able to keep up? That I don't know the answer to. We might have to figure that out. But long story short, we should be getting lots of gold now, which would be cool. Does gold still go in here, or did I remove gold from here? I think I removed gold from there. At one point, I had gold going in here because we were low on it, but then I stopped that practice. So now gold is just going into the normal locations, right? And that's cool. So we should be getting gold now. Man, I can't believe we ran out of gold. But to be fair, the amount of resources Draconic uses in terms of items, like, yeah, it's a lot. So that's cool. So hey, we should be getting lots of gold now. Yay! And that's a tier 6 void ore miner controller, which is huge amounts of awesomeness, right? Every 3 ticks we're getting an ore, so it's really fast. I mean, granted, it's using 12,000 RF a tick, but that's nothing. Because if you come over here and look at this bad boy, you'll see that we still have a net gain of close to 800,000 RF a tick. So I'm not even going to sweat 12,000. You know, power generation wise, we're at 800,000, so we're cool. And withers are dying by the many, which I like. I like withers dying. We can pop over to our nuclear site and just see how things are doing over here. Everything's running and doing its job, which is nice. Right? We're doing LEU, we're doing LEU 235, we're doing whatever this is. HEP 241 is in this one at the moment, and HECF 251 is in here. These fusion reactors are all running beautifully without an issue. I haven't actually checked in on these guys in a while. How's my stuff doing? Man, look at that. That's cool. Man, we have a lot. I mean, it's a lot, right? We're at 24 million buckets. Millibuckets, actually. That actually doesn't seem as much as I would think. I mean, I guess it's a lot. It just doesn't seem like as much. And let's make sure, are all these guys configured to void output overflow? Yes. Void output overflow, yes. Man, I turned all these guys on. Good job, Direwolf. Did I turn this one on? No. See, I knew I would have missed one. This will just make it so that, you know, when the hydrogen and helium, you know, if there's nowhere to put helium, it'll void it. Okay. Neat. All right, so let's do this. Let's wrap up the episode here. We'll come back next time. What I'll do is I will craft between episodes the reactor stabilizers that I need, right? So I'm going to let some gold run. We'll get a good amount of it. Like, how are we doing on gold already? We're up to 158 ingots, so that ain't so bad. We'll let that cook. We'll do our stuff, and then next episode we'll come back. I will have crafted all the stuff that I need, and then it's going to be go time for a Draconic reactor. We'll create a RF tools dimension so we can be safe, put the reactor in it, generate stupid, hopefully, amounts of power, and that would be fun. All right, Donald 20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We'll come back next time. For now, take it easy.